All right. Welcome everybody to today's event for resources for minority and underrepresented veterans. Today's August 31st, 2023. So a little bit about today. We're going to start off with a quick overview of CalTAP, basically just letting you know who we are, what we do, and talk briefly about some of those benefits that are available to you. After that, we'll go into a segment about your local interagency network coordinator. We'll have somebody, one of the links, come on and talk to you about how they work with veterans across the state. And then we'll go ahead and start with the resources for minority and underrepresented veterans content, which we do have a program analyst from our MUV division who will talk to you about that stuff. Once we're done, we'll go ahead and start a questions and answers period where you can ask any questions that you have for either of the presenters. Just a little thing about today, we are closing down the chat. You won't be able to post any questions in the chat because we will be flooding that chat with resources that you can use either to download or numbers that you can use on your free time. If you do have any questions that you want to ask right away, you can use that questions and answers feature that is there on Zoom. The presenters will either answer the questions as soon as they can, or we'll save them to facilitate the questions and answers period at the end. Go ahead and get started. So my name is Michael Cisneros. I am a training coordinator with CalTAP, the California Transition Assistance Program. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about what we do. We are a program that is designed to inform and connect veterans of all eras to their earned state and federal benefits, as well as provide continuous support and assistance as their needs change over time. And so what we've done is we've developed different pathways that help veterans navigate those programs and services that are available to them. Those pathways are an education pathway, an employment pathway. We have an entrepreneurship pathway, a core curriculum pathway of information, benefits, and services that don't fit into those topics I just mentioned. And then we have a service rider pathway for those individuals that do want to work with veterans and want to know more about military culture or whatnot. This is your veterans resource book. So if this was a live presentation, we would have a book for each one of you guys. You can use this book to find out information about those benefits. It's going to tell you eligibility requirements. It will let you know what forms need to be submitted, where you're going to submit them, and a bunch more. So we do not have hard copies for you, obviously, but we are putting a link in the chat so you can download that copy either on your desktop or on your mobile phone. Keep it with you wherever you go. I like to say that this book is like gold for veterans. So everything that we discuss when it comes to programs and services can be found in this book. So how do you use CalTAP online? Well, if you go to our webpage, calvet.ca.gov, right there on the homepage, you'll find the CalTAP banner circled in red. When you click on that, that will take you to the pathways page. As I mentioned, you'll see your employment, education, entrepreneurship pathway. Before we move forward, though, I do want to bring your attention to the archives link down at the bottom. So since we've started putting on webinars, we've recorded all of them and uploaded them to our website, along with the PowerPoints that are attached. So if you want to go and check to see what we've done in the past, what kind of topics we covered, get those resources, those phone numbers that you can use, feel free to check out that link. We've talked about everything from financial literacy to mental health. We've talked about VA healthcare, claims and disabilities, and a lot more. So feel free to check it out when you get a free time. Download those PowerPoints, use those numbers and the resources that you find. So this is what the page would look like if you were to click on any one of those pathways. This example, we clicked on the core curriculum pathway. On this pathway, you'll find information about the VA healthcare system. Claims and compensation is there in Module 4. We do have a financial literacy module down at the bottom. But if you're just curious about what your California benefits are, you can always click on Module 5, and that will break down each benefit in more detail. So what are those benefits? Well, the first one that I want to bring your attention to is your local interagency network coordinator. As I mentioned, we do have the Bay Area link who will be talking to you a little bit about what they do soon. So I'm not going to step on his toes too much, but basically this person is kind of like a liaison between local regional services and the veteran in their community. They also have connections with the federal side and also Calvet. So definitely use them when you get the chance. And we'll hear from Kevin in a quick second to let you know more about that. This is just a quick snapshot of what else is out there for you guys. We do have a college tuition fee waiver that's offered to your dependents. This is so that you can actually use your own veteran education benefits and also send your children to school for free. This tuition fee waiver waives all tuition for all state-funded schools. So any CSU, UC, or California Community College. We've also had programs with the DMV to make it easier to identify as a veteran. So now you can actually get the word veteran printed on your driver's license. There's a motor vehicle registration fee waiver that's offered as well. If you like to be outdoors, we have a reduced fishing and hunting license and a park pass, a state park pass that's offered at no cost. Both of these benefits do require a 50% disability rating. And we have tax programs as well, property tax exemptions. We have exemptions for veterans who start their own business. So if you are interested in those, we definitely recommend either reaching out to your county veteran service office or your local county tax assessor. They can tell you more about those programs. Here in Calvet, we have different divisions that work with different populations or areas for veterans. So we do have a home loans program that's different than the federal VA home loans program. We have programs that offer advocacy, outreach, and support for our women veterans and also our minority veterans. If you are a veteran who's looking for homes for long-term care, we have 8 different homes here in California that offer different services depending on where you go. And then we also have 3 different state cemeteries that are different than the federal VA cemeteries. There is a 4th one in the works right now. I'm not sure how far along they are with that one, but I believe it's going to be in Orange County. So just keep a lookout for that. Some common websites that we think you should be familiar with, not just as a California veteran, but as a veteran in general, is obviously the va.gov website. This is like a hub for veterans. So if you're looking to get enrolled in the VA healthcare system, take advantage of your education benefits, view your records, or even file for disability, you'll start off on this website. This is what it looks like once you're in. It's a portal, so it has replaced eBenefits. eBenefits was an old website that you would go to basically do everything that you can do on this website. So this is where you'll start. This is My Healthy Vet. This is for those veterans that are taking advantage of the VA healthcare system. On this website, you can communicate with your primary care physician, view your health records, set appointments with them, and even refill prescriptions. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of what CalTAP does. Basically, we're here to just help you get in touch with your benefits or find services that can help you out whenever you're ready. If you want to keep in touch with what we're doing, you can always email your non-DoD email address to caltap@calvet.ca.gov. That mailbox is checked daily. So if we get your email address, we'll go ahead and put you on a mailing list that sends out a weekly reminder of the upcoming webinars that we're putting on and all the other outreach opportunities that may be coming up. You can also go to Calvet's website and register through My Calvet. That just kind of tailors the information on the website to more of your interests. And then view our social media pages. We do have a Instagram, a YouTube page, and a Twitter, and also attend our webinars. So if you go to our Eventbrite page, that's caltap.eventbrite.com. You can find all of our webinars that are coming up, all the live presentations that are coming up as well. And you can register that way and get the login information and all the information that you need. And then finally, we do have a survey. This survey is not mandatory, but if you do want to take time to fill it out, let us know what we did well today, what we could work on in the future. We'll definitely take it into consideration. We want to make these webinars and these sessions meaningful to you guys. So definitely let us know, what's on your mind. This is what My Calvet looks like. So if you go to any page on our website, you'll always see the login or registration button there on the right-hand side. And this is actually an old copy of what our newsletter used to look like. We've actually switched to something different. So my apologies for having this up still, but we are actually sending out a weekly email that just talks about our webinars. It doesn't have a message from our deputy secretary. It doesn't have any other resources attached to it. It's just all about our webinars. So yeah, if you do give us your non-DoD email, we will be sending you that instead of something that looks like this. So I do apologize for the old picture that's up right now. But if you have any questions about what CalTAP's all about or how we can help you, feel free to reach out. That's my email address right there. I do check that daily. If you prefer to give a call, you can always call that 1-800 number. Someone like me, Kirk, or anyone else in the Veteran Service Division will answer the phone calls and try to answer your questions. If we can't answer them, we could definitely direct you to somebody who can. So let me just see. Kevin is on. So Kevin, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on now to Kevin Graves. He, like I said, he's the Bay Area link, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about how he works with veterans across his region. So go ahead, Kevin, when you're ready.
Thank you, Michael. I just jumped on here. So why don't we look at the first slide? So this is a map of how we as a division, as Veteran Services, cover the state of California through our outreach. And we do that by region. There's 8 of us in the state who cover the entire state, approximately 1.3 million veterans. And the purpose, really, the important thing about this map is that it's important that you, if you're looking for resources and benefits, that you try to reach out to the individual that is handling your that has sources of resources and benefits that are in the area in which you live. Because I don't know the resources in San Diego as well as I know the ones in the Bay Area, because my region is that kind of olive green area. I've got 10 counties in the Bay Area that I'm responsible for. And I surely don't know everything that goes on up in Eureka like my partner Cole does, because that's his territory. So you're probably going to get the best results and the best response if you contact those links links. We're local interagency network coordinators, a great acronym. I don't think it means as much as the fact that it spells link, which we are kind of your link to Calvet. And so our emails are listed there, and in that resource book that Michael talked about, that I'm sure that Michael talked about because I got on the call late, we're also listed in there by name and by region, and you can contact us that way. Can I get the next slide? So this is what we do. We basically provide outreach from Calvet to veterans within our territories, and we help them to access resources and benefits as well as for their families. And we do that in a lot of different ways, but mostly it's by us developing relationships with other organizations that provide resources and benefits for veterans, and therefore and vet those resources to make sure that they are viable and that they are doing what they should be doing, and then getting that information to you and connecting you with those resources, whether it be challenges with homelessness or education or employment or any of those things. We try to connect you with the people that can help you in your local territory. We also assist with local emergencies. Knock on wood, the fire season hasn't been too bad this year, but during the fires, we're at every DRC or local assistant center, LAC, providing benefits and resources specifically for veterans if they've lost something or if they need help in being relocated because of emergencies throughout the state. We also do that during the floods over the last couple of years. And then we also advocate on your behalf within the local community in the areas that we're responsible for, by making sure that leaders of the community as well as employers understand the benefits of having veterans living in their area, because you guys are valuable resources to them, and therefore they should make sure that they understand how you can best be utilized as community leaders in employment with regards to training and all the things that you've learned while you were in the military. Can I get the next slide, please? A couple different ways that we connect you to your benefits. For employment, we work very closely with our sister agency, the EDD, and they have dedicated employees that work. They do nothing but work for veterans. They're provided for by a grant, and they will do everything from helping you develop a resume. And then on the other side, they also look for employers that want to hire veterans and try to put you guys together so that you can find good jobs and work for companies that really want to utilize your talents and your abilities as a veteran. They don't work on anything else at the EDD except for veterans. So sometimes that system's a little challenging to navigate, but it's important that if you do call an EDD office, that you tell them you're a veteran and you don't want to speak to anybody except for the veteran specific employee, and that's going to be like a DVOP or a leaver. Those are other acronyms that they use. They're pretty successful at. I got a call the other day from a guy up in Lassen County who was with the school district, and they were looking to hire veterans. And he'd gotten together with 7 other superintendent of schools and said, how do I find veterans to come work for us? We're putting together this large project where we really want to focus on hiring veterans. And I referred him to the EDD. Get on board with your local EDD so that when they're working with you, the veteran, that there are places for you to go get jobs. So the system works. It's just a little tough to navigate sometimes. With regards to this, all those benefits that Michael told you about, everything from college fee waiver to hunting licenses or fishing licenses or park licenses, we rely extremely heavily upon our county veteran service office to provide those eligibility requirements for you and to fill out those forms and help you receive those benefits. Every county, all 58 counties, pretty much have a veteran service office, and the state actually helps finance those offices from the standpoint of helping you access our benefits. We can't be in every state. It's tough enough for the 8 of us to cover the entire state. And so we rely extremely heavily on your county veteran service office, and that's everything from filing claims, checking eligibility for maybe a dependent on the college fee waiver. That also would cover I did hear Michael talk about getting veteran status on your license plate. They're the ones that validate that eligibility. If you go to the DMV, they're going to say, no, we don't do this. You first have to go to see the county veteran service office. And we hope that you will contact them anyway, because there may be benefits and resources that you've earned while you served that you aren't accessing. So again, we rely very heavily on the county veteran service offices to provide those benefits and resources to you and to be able to answer those questions. If you call that number that Michael talked about, there's a good chance that whoever answers that phone is going to refer you to the county veteran service office in your area, because they really are the people with the answers. And especially for claims, they study it all the time. They file claims full time. And so they're very good at what they do. And then, of course, we work with other departments within Calvet that Michael talked about, whether it be the homes or the cemetery division or whatever other divisions. We work with other divisions within Calvet. And then we also partner with our big brother, the VA, and helping veterans access their health care and their VA benefits. And that can also be somewhat challenging sometimes. We don't have all the answers, but we sure will do what we can to help you find out who to talk to. We probably have resources that you don't have or don't have access to. And then the one last thing I do want to mention on this page is the vet centers. If you're a combat vet, and you should take advantage of the vet center. There's all kinds of programs they provide, everything from mental health to physical fitness programs to just getting together for coffee with other veterans. The vet center is a great resource, and there are in the Bay Area, there's six of them alone. So I'm not sure how many there are statewide. Can I get the next slide, please? Okay, that was the last slide. This is the last slide. There's my contact info. That's my work cell phone number, not the 800 number, the 925 number. Please feel free to make use of that as you see fit, and contact, call that number or call my number. And if there's something that I can help you with, I will do everything within my ability to do that. We thank you for your service, and I'm going to turn the webinar back over to Michael.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that information. And please use his number whenever you guys need anything. Email him. That's what they're there for. And again, if he can't get you the answers, he's most definitely going to know somebody who can. Now let's go ahead and pass it on to Jose Ayon. He is a program analyst with the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about how they work with veterans and some of the programs that they offer. So go ahead, Jose, when you're ready.
Thank you so much, Michael. Again, thank you to the Veteran Service Divisions for the invitation. And again, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Like Michael mentioned, my name is Jose Ayon. I'm one of the program analysts here for the Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division. I have my colleague also on the call, Mr. Ricky Powell, Army combat veteran, also serving as a program analyst for our division. They'll be putting in information into the chat, as well as far as just different things that I covered throughout the duration of the presentation. So if there's any questions or concerns, we'll make sure to provide that information as we progress through the presentation. A little bit about myself. I've been with Calvet going on to close to 5 years. I'm also an Army reservist, been a reservist for the last 7 years as well. So definitely excited to be here and continue serving our veterans. Next slide. So starting off, before we jump into the presentation, just want to briefly cover our vision and mission for our division. Starting off with our vision, we want to ensure that all veterans have equal access to their benefits, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation. We do this through our mission. We try to promote the usage of state and federal veteran benefits programs and services. As mentioned by our link and by Michael, there's a lot going on here at the state, a lot of great services being provided through Calvet, through the counties, and of course the federal VA. So we definitely try to do our part to promote the usage of those benefits to our veterans. Secondly, we advocate on behalf of our veterans by identifying gaps in services or barriers to access. We get a lot of inquiries, a lot of referrals, and we just do our very best to link that veteran to that service, and of course doing our part to reaching out to those different services throughout the state. If it's a different county, if it's a different state department, we like to be that middle person between the veteran, the information, and the services. Lastly, we lead initiatives that educate the public, similar to CalTAP. We do webinars, we do workshops, we do various events throughout the communities, throughout the state of California, and just promote the usage of our benefits, our programs, and also just, again, wanting to hear from our different partners and our veterans as well. Next slide. Quick overview of what we'll cover today. We'll start off with facts and demographics of our veteran community, the assistance that you can expect through our department, or our division, I should say, the different programs that we have, which consists of our Pathway to Citizenship, our Tribal Veteran Outreach, our LGBTQ Inclusion Program, various reports, just a quick synopsis of different workshops, different events that we have done in the past, future initiatives from our Deputy Secretary, and how to get in contact with us via our minority roster, and then just contact information for our different analysts within our department, or within our division, I should say. Some of the pictures that kind of cover what we have done in the past as well. Right in the middle, we have our Deputy Secretary with Deputy Secretary Virginia Wimmer as well, do a lot of events with our sister division, and just making sure that we work with our minority and women veterans as well. Some of the partners such as LULAC, we have just highlighting different service members, supporting LGBTQ Awareness Month, obviously just different meetings, meeting with different stakeholders, and sort of in the middle portion as well, just meeting with Congressman Mark Takano as well, just going through different initiatives and whatnot. So a lot of good things going on, not just in our division, but also within Calvet. Next slide. So again, quick facts for our division, sort of the reasoning behind the establishment of our division within Calvet. Out of the 1.6 million veterans residing in California, 47 of them, identify as minority or underrepresented veterans. And the next slide, we'll go over the demographics and different breakdowns within such population, but just a quick overview. Over 20,000 Native Americans call California home. That's 3 times the number of Native Americans compared to other states within the United States. So, definitely take pride in that support system that we attempt to give to our Native American veterans throughout California, throughout different tribes, different departments that also work with them as well. So we definitely try to do our part in that regards. Our LGBTQ veteran population, again, just the highest in the nation. And throughout the different research that's been done in the past, the work that we have completed throughout the years, we've noticed that the disconnect is definitely there. So we definitely try to do our part to make sure that we support our LGBTQ veterans and promote the usage of benefits and services that they have earned through their time of service, right? So definitely try to do our part there as well. Lastly, California is the first state, CalVet, I should say, is the first state to develop a citizenship program for veterans and their family members, one of our biggest programs there. So we do our part to just make sure that we provide that referral-based program to veterans that want to apply for citizenship or naturalization services. I'll definitely cover that in the next few slides. And of course, attempting to address the issue of deported veterans as well, work with various organizations throughout California that work with deported veterans. So just keeping that dialogue and doing our part to support as well. Next slide. As mentioned, obviously the veteran population in California is growing, and within our minority and underrepresented veterans population, I should say, that is also growing as well. So out of the 1.6 million, that's 47% are identified as minority and underrepresented veterans. That's close to a half. So again, the work that we attempt to do is very significant and very important, obviously, because that population is growing, and we just want to make sure that we support our veterans, our different minority veteran groups throughout the California. And we can see the breakdown there. The Hispanic or Latino community, definitely a growing population within our population. We see the Asian population as well. And for every group, with the exception of the Black or African American veterans population, we're the biggest and compared to others and compared to other states as well. So that's a big thing for us to also home on and just continue working with those different demographics. Next slide. What to expect from our division? Obviously, we work closely with our sister division, BSD and women veterans, to promote the usage of our programs. But again, just making sure that our minority veterans are receiving that information as well. And of course, supporting and initiating activities and events that educate about the unique needs of minority veterans. Absolutely, we definitely do our part there through our webinars, through our workshop. My colleague will be pushing out that information now. We have an LGBTQ webinar coming up in the month of September. So that's, again, one way that we attempt to do that as well, with a targeted outreach effort, but also just promoting and initiating our own events to educate the public, right? And lastly, advocate on behalf of minority veterans by identifying gaps in services and making recommendations to improve service delivery within their facility. So another way that we attempt to assist our veterans as well. Next slide. So jumping into our programs, our Pathway to Citizenship program was launched in 2018. This was in collaboration with the Governor's Office, the California Department of Social Services. They actually have a grant that funds different community immigration services and allows them to provide free legal consultation to veterans and to various community members throughout the state of California. So this program was implemented to do exactly that, but for our veterans as well and their dependents, with the sole purpose of having that expedited naturalization for our veterans. Obviously, it's case by case, but that's the intent, is to provide that free legal consultation and that expedited naturalization services to our veterans. Since 2018, we actually had a workshop last week in Monterey Park. So that's 18 workshops as of August 2023. And we had over close to 30 veterans attend that workshop. So we're slowly but slowly moving that number to close to 700 veterans that have been assisted since 2018. And some of the legislation there that we listed just for situational awareness that have assisted our veterans that are pursuing citizenship and naturalization services. Next slide. Our Native American Veteran Advocacy Program, obviously, as I stated before, we have close to 20,000 Native American veterans residing in California. We have over 100 federally recognized tribes in California, so the number is there. Just wanting to make sure that our Native American veterans have that information and tap into the benefits and just assisting them in any way, shape, or any way possible, right? Couple of years ago, 2 years ago to be exact, we worked closely with Cal OES. There was a lot of wildfires during COVID as well. We were just working with them hand in hand and being that sort of middle person between the services that Cal OES and provides and also with our tribes as well. So we work closely with them. We had over 10,000 masks distributed to the various tribes in Northern California and also in the Central Valley as well. So very proud of that, very proud of that collaboration and that effort with our sister department as well. Different conferences and outreach efforts that we do as well. 2 or 3 years ago, we attended a tribal national conference here in Sacramento. Just a great way for us to network, to meet different stakeholders, and just be a little bit closer with a tribal association that's operated through the governor's office. So that was a great experience, great opportunity for us to network and just getting to work with our tribal veterans a little bit closely as well. One of the things that I would like to list out here as well are current 56th annual Native American Day celebration. This is an annual event that we collaborate with, and we have an enormous powwow here in Sacramento, and we just embrace the various tribes that come and attend, but also we acknowledge and recognize our Native American veterans. And in that particular event, on the picture display on the bottom right, we have our Native American color guard that came out to that particular event, and we were able to give them certificates of appreciation and different pins as well. So it was just a great event, and it's an annual event. My colleague will push out that event flyer. It happens here in Sacramento, so definitely one that I will definitely promote, and hopefully we can have some of y'all attend that event as well. Next slide. Lastly, to cover our third program, the LGBTQ Veteran Inclusion Program. Obviously, we as we stated before, with the research and the information that is out there, we saw that disconnect between our LGBTQ veterans and the benefits and services that they have earned. So we attempted to do that by just bridging the gap between our LGBTQ veterans and their families to what's out there on the federal side, but also on the state side as well. This program was launched in 2014. And again, that kind of see the snapshot of the different events that we have done in the past since the establishment. Again, we're gearing up towards a LGBTQ webinar next month. My colleague Ricky Powell is spearheading that event, so we'll make sure to push out the registration link. It's a webinar, so definitely one that can be attended to via Zoom, via from home. So we encourage everyone to join us to learn more about the different programs and events that are happening around our LGBTQ veteran, and also just to hear from the different leaders within that community as far as what's going out there as well. So that's one of the ones that is coming up. And of course, we have done discharge upgrade webinars and events, inclusion forums, various meetings with different stakeholders as well. So it's an ongoing program, and we're very excited and proud to continue that effort as well. Next slide. As I mentioned, sort of coming close to the end of our presentation, just a different snapshot of different programs, I should say different events, webinars that we've done. During COVID, it was a very busy time for us as well. We were able to just work through the different webinars and highlighting different demographic groups, different organizations as well. So just working with our LGBTQ veterans, our African-American Black veteran during Black History Month, working closely with our Sikh American veterans as well, work closely with the Sikh Coalition from Washington, D.C., and we were able to do an amazing workshop and just bring awareness to our Sikh Americans that reside all throughout California, but also in the United States as well. And we were able to help a couple of service members get a religious accommodations, and they're successfully serving in the military right now. So we're definitely proud of that as well. And obviously our Pathway to Citizenship workshop had a couple throughout the year as well, and just continuing the efforts there as well. Next slide. Last year as well, we continued with our pathway. We worked closely with the Blue Leg organization that's here in California. We did a veteran recognition luncheon event for them, or with them, I should say, here in Sacramento. We worked closely with the California Military Department there, the American GI Forum, different community partners to make that event very successful for everyone. Here in Sacramento, our state fair and Cal Expo, just being a part of that, providing that outreach effort to our veterans and our first responders during the Appreciation Day here in Sacramento, working with our tribal veterans as well with Missing and Murdered Indigenous People webinar to help bring awareness regarding that particular topic to our veterans, but also the community at large as well. And of course, lastly, our department leadership summit as well, just supporting our department there with support there, and just having a successful event in San Diego as well. Next slide. Sort of a summary of what we have done during this year as well. Again, we just had a Pathway to Citizenship workshop last week, very successful. We supported our Women Veterans Division with an event in Vallejo, California as well. And what's coming down the pipeline, as I mentioned before, our LGBTQ webinar happening in September, our Native American Day celebration here in Sacramento. So a lot of good things happening. One of our newest additions is our Rural and Northern California Veterans Collaborative. So just working with different service providers up in Northern California and just bringing them together to cover different issues, different concerns that they have working in Northern California, and also just making sure that CalVet is there to support them and just being that resource, that outlook for them as well. So a lot of good things happening in our division, in our department. So we just want to continue the momentum and just making sure that we're there to support our veterans and the different veteran service organizations as well. Next slide. As mentioned, some of the future initiatives from our department, just getting veterans more civically engaged. So that's something that's a new initiative for our deputy secretary. So that's something to keep an eye out for that for sure. Definitely excited for that. As mentioned, our Rural California Veteran Network building, that's done as far as it's established. So just continuing that effort as well. And of course, our website revamp is making sure that we have most updated information for everyone to tap into, and of course just accessibility to everyone as well. Next slide. As mentioned, how do you keep in contact with us? Please register to our minority veteran roster. There's the barcode there as well. Essentially, similar to the Veteran Service Division, we have monthly newsletters as well, just to try to put out as much information, benefit services that are out throughout the state of California, and just doing that periodically, monthly, I should say, but also various emails that we send out as we get information, or if there's an event that we see is important or can be beneficial to our veterans, we'll push that out as well. So definitely something to keep in mind. We'll push it out in the group chat as well. Just making sure that we provide as much information throughout the weeks and months for our veterans. And we established this in 2020, and ever since then, we have over 12,000 veterans join our listserv. So we encourage everyone to please join us, and of course, keep an eye out for information that comes out our division. Next slide. So kind of one of the newsletters that we pushed out, I believe, in March. So again, just kind of the breakdown of what we do, not just highlighting different veterans, but again, more on the resources as well. So definitely encourage everyone. And the newsletters are a great way for us to just provide that information in that platform for our veterans. So again, just register and we'll make sure to push out quality information for everyone. Next slide. Here's how you get a hold of us. You know, the information there for our different team members, Christina Salazar, Ricky Powell, myself. We're at your service. Please reach out to us. If there's anything that we can do to support, we'll do our very best to provide that information, or again, just point you in the right direction. We're active on Facebook as well, so please, you know, make sure to follow us on Facebook as well. We definitely enjoy posting information, highlighting our veterans throughout Facebook as well, and of course, our website, our contact information, and our minority veterans email as well. That's accessed by all of the team members, so someone will definitely respond to you if you reach out to us, and we just want to make sure that we're available. So again, we encourage everyone to reach out to us and to follow us on Facebook and join our roster as well. Next slide. Here's our team. Our former colleague, Faisal Aziz, Christina Salazar, our Deputy Secretary, Xochitl Rodriguez Murillo in the middle, my colleague, Ricky Powell, who's on the call today, and then myself, Jose Aguilar. Again, we're at your service. Please reach out. We want to help. We want to hear it from our veterans. So again, just reach out to us and we'll be making sure to reach out to you. Again, here's my contact information. Please reach out. Always available Monday to Friday. If I don't get back to you, you know, I definitely do my best to do a 24-hour turnaround as far as that any inquiries that come my way. So please reach out and we'll make sure to provide good information or point you in the right direction.
Great. All right. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate that information. If you guys have any questions about those resources that are available to our minority and underrepresented veterans, definitely encourage you to reach out to their division first. It's a great starting point to get you connected to the things that you need. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to bring in Kirk because Kirk was watching over the Q&A tab a little bit. I saw that a couple questions came through and they were answered. But let's go ahead and keep it going. If you guys do have any questions for any of the presenters, now is the time to ask them. We are going to keep the mics off, so go ahead and use that Q&A tab or the Q&A feature on Zoom, and we could go ahead and start answering your questions that way. So Kirk, what have you seen so far?
Thanks, Michael, and thank you, Jose and Ricky, for that great presentation. They did a great job, and appreciate them providing their contact information for that outreach, continued support for the minority veterans. So the questions that we've had have been pretty much general in nature about how the EDD is different than a nonprofit organization like Victory Village, and then, you know, just kind of let them know that EDD is a state agency for the Employment Development Department. They do have veteran services through the EDD. Kevin went into his little extensive situation there, explaining the resources that he provides to the EDD and what they do. There was a question open for Kevin about the link coordinators and how they're able to connect with their local nonprofits. So if he wants to chime in and answer that question for this person, he's able to do so. Since he is a subject matter expert on that link networking and his ability. So Kevin, if you can hear and you want to answer that question. While we're waiting for that, I'll answer the next one. Do we have resources for veterans who want to start a business or to buy into a franchise? And I'm going to answer that. Yes, we do provide an entrepreneurship pathway through our CalTAP portal. You can actually go directly to the Calvet website, and on the CalTAP portal, there is a whole entrepreneurship pathway that provides information and resources on starting your business, how to get things up and off the ground using not state-free resources through the state of California or the federal government. And then also, if you want to contract with the state or the federal government, and how to become certified and register your entity as a veteran-owned small business or a disabled veteran small business. So just go on our website. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us through CalTAP and we can direct you that way. But you can navigate your way through our portal. and find the entrepreneurship pathway. Next one is 13 months and 11 days of post 9/11 GI Bill, because they never reached out to explain the differences. For compensation about your GI benefits, I would recommend contacting the GI Bill hotline. That is the most accurate and up-to-date information that you can find out real time about what your benefits that you have left. And I'm going to put it right here in your I'm going to put it in the chat so everybody can see this number. This is the GI Bill through the VA. You provide them some service information, your personal information. They can look into your file. They can tell you exactly what benefit you used, what you have available left, and then if you have any issues or discrepancies there, you can contact a county veteran service office or another nonprofit agency that can assist you with those discrepancies.
And I got to say, we've actually used the GI Bill hotline at our desks when we're helping out veterans, and they're really helpful.
Absolutely.
It's really easy to get through to them and get your questions answered.
Absolutely. And one of the other things, Michael, I'd like to add to that is they're a little unique, is that actually somebody will answer the phone when you call that number. It's not like the 800 number for the general benefits hotline. This one, actually, somebody will answer the phone. So, okay. How is local interagency coordinator different than a federal executive board? So I'd like to defer that one to Kevin. Kevin is a local agency for the state of California. He's one of our colleagues here at the California Department of Veteran Affairs. And he allows you to have that warm handoff for another agency directly to a contact. So he knows people at VA. He knows people at the VA healthcare system. He knows people in the EDD, other nonprofit agencies, service providers, whatever it is, have you. He's a connection to go between that third party that can provide you that warm handoff and a direct contact, instead of just a cold call to that agency out of the blue, trying to reach somebody, getting nowhere, and reaching a voicemail and never returning a call. He can advocate for you in that department. He can help you because he knows these people that he's providing that information. So hopefully that is a better reason to kind of explain what the coordinators actually do, our link coordinators. But they also do that outreach as well. They go out into the communities and provide the services when there is LACs or local assistance centers or emergency evacuation centers where FEMA is involved. They actually provide assistance if you are a veteran and you're, incapacitated in that way of a natural disaster. They can be there to provide you assistance with anything veteran related, or agencies, and how to connect to that as well. So hopefully that answered your question on both parts.
Yeah, and with the links too, they welcome cold calls. So obviously business hours, but if it's an emergency, feel free to give them a call. But just give them a call if you have any questions or whatever you need. They should be answering their phones and helping you guys out.
Okay. The next question is the GI Bill through federal government or California government? All of your GI Bill benefits that you've earned during your active duty service time will be through the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. All educations. California does not have any education benefits for the veterans, only for the dependents. Okay. Next one is so I guess this is referring to Kevin again. Is he only dealing with California state, local VA agencies, not involved with federal jobs? Kevin has a unique list of agencies that he works with, so I can't really say if he's not. He may be available for federal jobs, maybe with the DOL or federal employment agent. So I can't really say. He may know somebody there. I can't really say what his connections are. So Kevin, if you're on still and you can hear, he might be on the phone. So if I'm going to leave that one open-ended, and if anybody else has anything else, we can continue on. So I'll leave that one open. If he pops on, we can answer. So hopefully that actually. The link to the education benefits for dependents, one more time. Absolutely. I will post that in the chat one more time for the college tuition fee waiver. And you can access that from our website. under Education tab, and then go to the college tuition fee waiver. And there's 4 plans available, A, B, C, and D. The most common of the 2 would be A and B, depending on what your service connection rating is. Will determine which plan your dependent will use. Please be advised, if you are 100% service connected and your dependent is between 18 and 26, they will be eligible for Plan A. They will not be able to use Chapter 35 congruently with Plan A. They will be able to use Chapter 35 benefits or the DEA, Dependent Education Assistance from the VA, with Plan B. So, yes, Erica, I just did post the in the chat. So the chat should have the link for the CalVet fee waiver in the chat. Okay, next one is career opportunities with FEMA and SoCal. If you're interested in federal jobs, I would recommend using the USA Jobs portal. All federal jobs available are through the USA Jobs portal. A local interagency connection would be, if you look at the map, I will post the link map in there as well. You can actually find the Southern California link. Email and contact will be on this map. You can contact the link that is in the Southern California region that you would like to contact. Next one. This was for the fee waiver, 80%. So you'd fall under Plan B for the fee waiver for your dependent. There is an earning threshold for the dependent. Just make sure that the residency requirements for the school are met for the dependent, not the veteran. Okay. Is there any resume writing services available for veterans? Yes, I will post the resume writing.
Work for Warriors, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking for, I don't have their link on here right now for my contacts, but really it's www.workforwarriors.org, isn't it?
.org, yeah.
Yeah.
Work for Warriors is kind of like a headhunter for veterans. They have connections with employers across the state. They can help you out with interview techniques and preparation, and they can also help you out with writing your resume. But it's workforwarriors.org is their website, and I believe you could just email info@workforwarriors.org. Is that right? Or
yeah, I'm work. It's the, I can just post the whole phone number.
Yeah, we work with them on a lot of our webinars and our live events too. So definitely recommend them if you guys are looking for work or need help with that kind of stuff.
And there's their website. Okay. Next one, 100% disabled rated GI Bill and clinical rotations vision. I'm just, what specific information or what benefit are you looking for accommodation for? I know that you're looking to use education benefits, or CalVet doesn't have any education benefit available just to the veteran. We only have some for the dependent. Are you looking for transportation? There's, so I'm trying to decipher the question here. All right, Kevin, I answered a couple of your questions for you about your link. So you were on the phone.
I was on another call again. I'm sorry, guys. My phone's blowing up today. I did hear that, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Um,
The good news is it died, so it can't ring again now. So
all right, some of these are just real generic, and I'm not sure what they're pertaining to. Ones they're in the local area.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, we want to stay away from personal questions. So if this is something about your own personal situation that's going on, we would recommend you go out to the County Veteran Service Office. You can start there, or even start with your local interagency network coordinator.
Yeah.
But if we can make the questions general, that would be great, so that we could, kind of pass this information on to everybody that's in the room right now.
All right, Kevin. The question for you was working in your local area with your nonprofit serving veterans, creating a way for veterans to find out what is available in a 15 months. Seems like using Calvet website should be ideal as a hub so veterans could go to one source.
well, the policy of the department has been to not get involved in recommending nonprofits on the websites, just because they change so quickly, and they could be very efficient one month and the next month they're not. And so that's why if you contact a link, we know the ones that are working effectively and the ones that aren't, and the ones that are still, I mean, and they come and go, because a lot of them were developed on grant money. And once that grant money dries up, they just don't care. They shut the door and go away. So the department does not allow us to promote, or to promote's probably not the right word, but to list nonprofits on the website. There's very few that we actually work with, but those are the ones that we know have been well established, as just Swords to Plowshares and some other ones like that, and down in Southern California, U.S. Vets and that type of thing, that are extremely robust, and we know that what they do and how big their programs are.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, especially with updating and things, it's very difficult to, especially on a website for like the local agencies, because like you said, they change and they're constantly being updated a lot. So to have the most updated information about a service provider would be very difficult on a website, unless that was their specific website, of course. So good point. Thank you. I didn't even think about that, Kevin. As Michael suggested, if you have a specific individualized question pertaining to your individual, you can reach out to any one of us. You can email the CalTAP mailbox. I'll put it in the chat again. You can email Kevin directly, Michael, or myself, or Jose or Ricky if you have a minorities question directly. So that's why we put that contact information in the questions up here. So, for privacy purposes and individual questions, you can contact them and have a little more peace of mind. You're contacting the subject matter expert for that question as well. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for the questions. It looks like that's about it. The rest of them are just generic.
Hey, did you
the transportation option for this person in Sacramento? Go ahead, Kevin.
I was just going to say, that we have Ricky listed incorrectly. It's Ricky Powell. It says Ricky Aon.
Yeah. That was a typo, because he logged in under Jose's extra account, so we just changed it to Ricky.
Well, I just want for email benefits, give Ricky a shout out there. I think is it Ricky.Powell, Ricky?
It's Ricky Powell.
It's thank you, Kevin, for that correction.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you, sir.
Good.
It's actually Rakesh.Powell.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's part of the PowerPoint slides that I think is going to be shared with everybody after the presentation. But what I'll do for right now is I'm going to go and share my contact information, which includes my cell phone, in the chat, just for clarification, so we don't get confused. We don't confuse anybody.
Thanks, Ricky.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Kevin. Question on transportation assistance for veterans that need getting to clinics and stuff. Do the clinics themselves have the?
It depends on what county you're in, and I'm not sure. And this sounds to me like it's Sacramento County.
She lives in Walnut Creek.
Oh, yeah. We don't have any transportation in Contra Costa County available. They're from where to where? From home to Martinez, or what are we talking about? It
looks like maybe from Sacramento to Walnut Creek.
They're part of the Northern California healthcare system, so they're going up to Mather or something like that.
looks like it.
I don't believe that there are any that there's any transportation available. We tried to put that in place, and Ricky knows a lot about this. We tried to put this in place out in the rural areas when he was working out in the Stockton, Stanislaus, San Joaquin County area there, and even up into Tuolumne and some of the other counties. We put together some transportation, but it's kind of spotty. I know that they were running vans from San Joaquin County to Palo Alto for a while, right, Ricky?
That's correct. There was a local nonprofit that donated 2 vehicles that did runs. Eventually, what happened was the county partnered up with that organization because the issue came across was scheduling. So the nonprofit had some issues with tracking down and actually having a set schedule. And what they also did was they also assisted with doing background checks on the drivers, making sure they had clean records. But there are programs throughout the state, mainly through local nonprofits that provide like not transportation assistance.
I would contact the healthcare center that you need to go to, and ask them if they have a relationship with with anybody and it's mostly VSOs that are doing this. It's mostly like American Legion Halls and these other that provide transportation. DAV. Again, the problem is finding drivers and being there. It's an all-day process. You go up there for an appointment, you're there all day, they wait, they bring you back. And it is a scheduling nightmare. And I'm not trying to make excuses, and it would be a great resource to have or a great benefit to provide, but it's very complicated. I would contact the healthcare provider whether it's Martinez, San Francisco, Palo Alto, Sacramento, wherever it is, contact them and see if they have any program in place for transportation to get you to and from your doctor's appointments.
Yeah. All right. Another question. How often does this program give the classes and resources to veterans? We have webinars 2 to 3 times a month. You can go to our Eventbrite page. If you scroll back in the chat, there should be an Eventbrite link. We have ongoing webinars. And then individualized, specialized webinars, not just our Calvet webinars, but we have our partners that we reach out with on a monthly basis as well. So we record many of them every month. Oh, okay. To reach.
Good.
And thank you for attending the webinar. Okay. Is there any other questions we haven't addressed? No, everything else we've already kind of covered. So I think that's about it. We're just a little bit over time now, Michael. So I'll turn it back over to you. If you guys have a question and continue, like I said, please reach out to the individual or the email that we've provided in the contact for your individualized questions. We have not answered it at this point. Okay, so thank you for sharing your questions, and hopefully we got your questions answered to the best of our ability. And if not, reach out to us. Thank you, Michael.
All right, thanks, Kirk. Let's go ahead and finish off with these last couple slides. As Kirk mentioned, you can go to our Eventbrite page and find information about each one of these upcoming events for the month of September. Webinars, some of them are going to be through some of the colleges here in California. You don't need to be a student to attend those. Those live events, if they're happening in your area, feel free to join. If not, check out our Eventbrite page to find out more about the upcoming webinars that will be coming up. Again, our survey, it's not necessary, but if you did want to take it and just let us know what we did well today, let us know what we can work on in the future. We will definitely take those into consideration and try to make this the best event for you guys. Thank you for being here. As Kirk said, feel free to give us a call if any questions do come up after this event's over. That 1-800 number will ring my phone, Kirk's phone, or any other one of the veteran service individuals who are answering questions. Or you could always give that CalTAP email that CalTAP inbox. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we'll definitely get to you as soon as possible. So thanks for being here again. And I hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you at the next one.